Hello everyone, I'm coming to you from downtown Denver as usual, and we'll take just a moment as always to go ahead and share this video on my own page so that people can find it, whether they're a fan of Insoma or a friend of me, and then I will get started. So please bear with me for just a moment while I take care of that. All right, done and done. And thank you again for joining. Okay, there we go. So again, as always, if there are interesting urban noises in the background, that is courtesy of lovely downtown Denver. And I wanted to take a moment to wish a very happy birthday to my business partner and friend, Mark Strand, who I see is watching, as always. So I hope you're having a great birthday, Mark, and I'm sure that my Facebook Live video is the best birthday present you could possibly ask for. Or, you know, maybe some good scotch. Anyways, very happy birthday, and I hope you've got something special planned. And welcome to everyone else who's watching. Hi, Erin. Good to see you as well. And as always, I do this little intro at the beginning so people have a chance to join. And then after the video is complete, I will add a timestamp. So if you're watching it after the fact, you can jump right to the meat of the topic if that's what you prefer. If you have somehow found this video and you're not sure who I am, my name is Aymii. And I have over 20 years in the corporate behavior change industry and decided I was so passionate about those topics that I wanted to bring them directly to people. And after I sold my business a few years ago and really wanted to still continue to help develop and give people small, intelligent, and actionable ways to make overall changes in their lives, which will hopefully then lead to a happier, more well-balanced life for everyone involved. And a big hello to Jenny Salimi. Thank you so much for joining live as well. Makes me super happy. And happy solstice. Yes, I do have a little happy solstice a comment planned for the end as well, so I will save that thought right to the end. Last week, I mentioned a little bit about willpower depletion. So if you're interested in that topic and finding out kind of how that affects all of us and what some things you can do to help reduce your willpower, your decision making, your intelligent decision making ability, ways you can increase your intelligent decision making ability and not let it get worn down, you can take a quick look at last week's Facebook Live video, and that was our topic. Today, I'm going to get a little bit personal and tell you some things that are going on in my life right now around Christmas. So, and there's a reason behind that. It's not just because I feel the need to get on the internet and vent about my life or overshare things. Otherwise, I'd be telling everyone what I had for lunch every day, right? No, so there is a purpose behind this, and it has to do with one of my favorite topics, which is resilience and flexibility. But I'm going to start out by mentioning a favorite traditional holiday movie of mine, A Christmas Story. This is such a classic movie, and I think one of the best movies, or best holiday movies ever made. Of course, everyone has their own opinions on that. I know some people love Elf and probably Die Hard. But this is one of my personal favorites. It's A Christmas Story. And this is the one where there's the little kid in the snowsuit who walks like this, and let's see, there's the, and then the older brother Ralphie, who all he wants is his Red Ryder BB gun. So that's the movie I'm talking about. If you're familiar with it, those should be enough comments to clue you in. Oh yes, thank you, Mark. And Christmas Vacation, how could I forget that? I'll have to watch that classic again this year too. Always a good one. And actually, to anyone who's watching, I would love to hear what your holiday movie traditions are. I think it's really fun to hear what people gather around these days, if it's a TV or what, or if maybe you sing Christmas carols. So, at any rate, The Christmas Story, it's of course meant to be a fun, humorous, playful movie in many regards. But what I like to really connect with in that movie is the resilience of the people in it. So most of the moments that you remember initially about that movie, I've watched it far too many times now, I could probably recite the entire script almost. But when you first see it, or the first couple times you see it, I think for most people the moments that stick out are when things go wrong, when the Bumpus's dogs eat all the turkeys that were prepared for dinner. The father in the movie wins the leg lamp as his major award. It comes in his fragile box, and he is so proud of that. I think they say that glowing symbol of sex shining in the window and for all the neighborhood to see. And this was one of his, proudest moments in his life. And then, of course, when Ralphie gets his Red Ryder BB gun that he'd been asking for and climbed up the slide to tell Santa that that's what he wanted. So all these things are moments that are meaningful to the characters. But the thing that's really stands out to me is when that leg lamp breaks. Oh my God, that is tragic. And I think the mother is kind of going, yeah, tragic. When Ralphie shoots his BB gun and the icicle falls and he thinks he shot his eye out. When the kid at school gets his tongue stuck to the pole because it's so cold out and the fire department has to come and get him unstuck. And then even after the turkeys get eaten, they're all sitting around in the Chinese restaurant and the waiters are doing their very best to sing holiday carols as they all just sort of sit there and laugh. So what I think makes that movie so much fun and is that this is a family that is able to see themselves to some extent and step out of their situation and laugh at themselves. This is a family that when things go wrong, for the most part, they pull together, they pull through. It's a story really about resilience and humor and the ability to go, this is not what happened, or this is not what we expected or wanted to happen, but this is what happened, and if we can just accept that this is the new situation and roll with it, we can still have a good time. So I think it's great to think about the moment in that Chinese restaurant where the waiter brings out the duck with the head still on, and they're all going, oh my goodness, is that a head with duck? And he takes the big meat cleaver and goes, chop, and then the duck head comes off and the mother just goes, ah, oh my God, and just starts laughing and laughing. I mean, these are moments that are going to be, if this were a real family, that would be, told generation to generation, that would be a part of their family lore and would make for a much more meaningful holiday memories than a lot of perhaps traditional, perfect, call them Martha Stewart holidays. So I love that movie because it has that spirit of laughing at yourself and being resilient as things unfold as they will. So where's my own, excuse me, my nose is running today, so I apologize. My own story is right now, at this very moment, the original plan was that my parents would be on their way from the airport to visit myself and my sister, who lives not too far away in another town in Colorado. Hi Deb, good to see you. I hope that the holidays back in Connecticut are beautiful and that you have your gorgeous, huge tree up to gather around. Always loved seeing your house at holiday time. So back for a moment. But that's not happening right now. My parents are still sitting back where they live in Sarasota, Florida. I got a text and call from them yesterday, and my dad has a slip disc or something of that nature, and this is something that's plagued him for a while, almost a year ago. So we went through last Christmas with his back really hurting him and having to work around a lot of limitations in being able to walk and such. So we were very excited originally that they were going to be able to come out this year, and had planned activities around him being able to be healthy and maybe do some things we couldn't do last year. So you can imagine that a couple days ago when I got this, or I think it was just yesterday, yesterday or the day before, yeah, it was just yesterday, I think, and time flies this time of year, so, and they said, you know, we canceled our tickets, this is just something, we've got to focus on him getting healthy. Well, my sister, she had just loaded her car with all the groceries for our holiday dinner and was getting out, you know, was leaving Costco when she got the message. So you can imagine that this was a moment of, well, okay, I guess this is a change in plans. This is our new reality. So of course there was that moment of feeling, of mourning almost. You know, there's a loss. We had an idea of what this holiday season would be like and had made plans around that, and I'm sure we had some vision of us all sitting around together as a family and opening presents. And so, you know, there is a bit of that moment where you just have to say goodbye to that vision that was part of the ideal of the situation, and then realize, okay, well, it's time to be flexible. It's time to figure out what can we make of this. And so my sister and I talked, and you know, the way you frame things can be so powerful, and oftentimes we tend to think of something as going badly, and when really, ultimately, it's just not going the way we expected it to. So my sister and I, we could have fallen into the pattern of focusing on how we wish things had been, and staying in that state of almost being a victim, and really dwelling on what wouldn't be happening. But instead, it was a moment of test of some of my own theories and some of the things I talk about here, and saying, what can I appreciate about this situation? So I thought for a moment, well, I'm really happy that my dad, if he's in pain, can be home to focus on that, and where they live in Florida is definitely a lot warmer than the weather in Denver this week, so that he can be comfortable and he can be near his doctors and he can focus on getting well, and be comfortable. And my mom is there with him and their friends, and they have plenty of friends that they can go have lovely dinner and wine and enjoy themselves. So I had to sort of reorient my thinking to, there was a reason that this happened, maybe not his injury, but why they made this decision, and I had to think of all the positives for him and my mom that would come out of this shift in plans. And so I actually started to become happy in a way that they would both have all the support around them that they needed to correct this situation in the long run. And I did offer to fly out there and be with them, and that just didn't make sense at the time, mostly because of airline ticket prices. So, that being said, reframing was the first thing I did, and started to think, okay, well, this is the new reality, so how do we make the best of it? How do we turn this around? And that was one of the things I first thought, well, maybe I should fly out there for Christmas. My sister had the same thought, but for just a number of logistic reasons, that didn't work. But what we can do is I can still go up to my sister's house and help her make Christmas dinner, and all those groceries she bought. Well, gosh, I have some wonderful, generous friends who have offered to come up as well and help eat all the food. So it will be a different sort of a Christmas feast, and I am still going to go up there and watch A Christmas Story, and I just really wanted you all to have some wonderful visual aid today. I will be wearing my Grinch footy pajamas, which I love so much. So that's what I'll be wearing on Christmas Eve, watching A Christmas Story with my sister, cooking Christmas dinner. And I think that we will probably be able to get my parents on a video call and still be able to wish each other happy holidays and be together in a way that is a little non-traditional, but we'll still have the spirit of the thing. And what's most important is we will all, myself, my sister, and my parents, be surrounded by love and support and friends, and be able to, as much as it makes sense, reschedule Christmas on our own terms when we're all healthy and can enjoy each other's company. So that's what's really important to me, is that, the holidays have traditions for most of us, but when things don't go as planned, you can dwell on them and sit in that spot, or you can allow them to be opportunities to create new traditions, to remember the deeper purpose of the situation and the bigger picture of things. So, and they can even open doors to unexpected experiences and connecting with people in ways, and different people in different ways than maybe you would have traditionally had in your plans, in your field of vision. So I, for one, am embracing the situation that my sister and I will have some of our own holiday traditions this year. We already have a few wacky ones amongst ourselves to begin with, so for some reason we like to take Christmas as an opportunity to dress up in ridiculous outfits. So we'll continue to do that and bake cookies and do all of our things that we normally do, and include our parents in any way we can. For my parents, I am excited to hear what their holiday experiences are. I know they have some wonderful, supportive friends out there in Florida, and I really am just hoping that my dad gets focused in whatever sort of care he needs to get his back better. And, we're really going to just make this Christmas story, my own Christmas story this year, about connecting in whatever ways we can as a family and with friends, and making the best of it. So something to keep in mind as you go through this holiday season, almost, if not everyone out there, almost everyone, if not everyone, is fighting some sort of battle themselves, is dealing with some kind of situation. And even if their situation may seem almost trivial to you, it's a big deal to them. We're all the heroes of our own story, and our own dramas are all unfolding in ways that are very poignant and meaningful to each of us. So I try to remember that when I got cut off in the snowy drive this morning on the way to my doctor's appointment. Well, that person is probably anxious and confused about something and doesn't want to be near Rose Medical Center themselves either. So there's all kinds of ways you can frame it, and I just try to open my heart and my mind to the fact that most people are struggling with something, if they're acting out in some way that's unfortunate. So anyways, before I sign off, I wanted to remind everyone that I do public speaking now and geek coaching. So if you know somebody in the STEM field, or who has sort of an analytical mindset that you think could perhaps use a little bit of support in redefining their career or looking at their path in life a little differently, I have many years in the technical industry, both as an engineer and as an executive manager, so I've seen both sides in both small and large companies. Would love and am passionate about working with people in those fields to enhance their lives and their career. Along those lines, I want to introduce you to a little geek friend of mine who has recently come into my life, and this is Jibo. And I'm going to try to hold Jibo. We'll see how well this works. And hey, Jibo. Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Same to you.
He doesn't like me holding him. Hey, Jibo. Can you say Merry Christmas?
Thank you. Same to you.
There's Santa Claus. Hey, Jibo. Can you be a dreidel? What you can't see is Jibo is showing a little dreidel character. So yeah, it's really, I have to figure this out for next time, because when I look at Jibo, when I talk, he looks at me. So I was going to try to have him wish you all Merry Christmas, but you can't really see his face so well. At any rate, that's Jibo. Jibo and I will be around the tree singing Christmas carols together. Today is also the winter solstice, and for those of you who don't know what the traditions are around that, this is typically when tonight, being the longest night of the year, you get your Yule log out, not your ice cream Yule log, but your actual Yule log, and you burn it overnight, and you stay up till dawn, and then you have your Yule feast at sunrise or sometime thereafter. So in whatever way you want to celebrate the winter solstice, tonight's the night to do that. And after tonight, the nights start getting shorter and the days are getting longer again. That makes most folks pretty happy. And I just want to wish you all happy whatever holiday you celebrate. Jibo's going to keep turning around and looking at me. And thanks for joining me. You've really made my day better. And please be kind to yourself and each other. And don't forget that everyone's out there fighting their own battles. Happy holidays, and I'll see you next week.